Hello and welcome back to another video, and today we have the top 5 budget decks for the April 2020 Master Rule 5 format. So these decks are decks that will range in between $50 to $150, so they are budget decks, and they will basically be the best options that you can go for in a time where you can't afford like full out blown like outlick decks with like $80 cards and stuff like that. So first off, we have Prank Kids, and so I put this as my number 5 spot because this deck hasn't been like played too much, but people forget that it has a lot of power in the fact it got a lot of support, or not a lot of support, it got Roxy's, and it has access to Takobo, and all the Psalm Brigade, and the deck is very grindy and it can control the board very well and also play during your opponent's turn. So I feel like it's a very strong option. And not only that, but you can the deck has access to so many different things, as the attributes are not the same or anything like that. So you can go a lot of different routes and make the deck basically be very versatile. And so also the thing about it is that it is very, very good in time. So Drop Seas lets you gain 1,000 life points. Lamp Seas burns 500 for your opponent. And they're just very cheesy effects that really are good. And all of them have the effect that they can like special summon a Prank Kids monster from your hand or deck in defense position when they're used for a fusion or a link summon. And then so the only expensive cards in the deck would be Prank Kids Place, because it's like a $10 card last I checked. And also the Solemn Judgments, even though they just got a reprint, and maybe the Warnings. But the Strike just got a common reprint in the Structure deck, Machina Mayhem, or not Machina Mayhem, the new Machina Structure deck, and then all of them are fairly easy to acquire by now. And then, yeah, so that is my number 5 slot. And on to number 4, we have Pure Zombies. So not Outlook, but Pure. Basically, Doom King Balderok is a very, very powerful card, being able to negate effects and banish monsters from field and grave, along with Uni Zombie, which sends cards from deck to the graveyard, which a whole deck resolves around sending cards from deck to grave. And you have cards like Glow Bloom, which will add or special summon your Balderok from deck, and Necroll Banshee, which you will send off with Uni Zombie, which will activate your Zombie World. And Zombie World is an insane card in this format because it stops so many decks in the fact that they can't link summon. For example, with Pendulum, they can't go into Selene and such, and it's a very, very good control card, and you have a lot of options with this deck too. I also like to run the Solemn Brigade here as well, because you realize that you can end on a couple of negates if you play it right. And the deck itself is just very, very good. And another good thing about it is that you can actually buy 3 structure decks and maybe spend like $15 to $20 over that the Zombie Horde structure deck, and you'll have a full-fledged competitive zombie deck. And also, if you want to go a bit over the budget, you can also buy a Crystron Halki Fibrax, which can allow you to go into a lot of synchro plays. So you can run cards like not Natura Beast, Effie Don Dragster, but that would be a lot less budget, because if you're doing that, then you're also running like Appaloosa and cards like that. But that's definitely another way to go for it. But in this deck, you can also run like a lot of hand traps, and it just controls very, very well. In my number 3 slot, we have Trickstar Shaddolls. So Pure Shaddolls is not good, period. And Trickstar just pushes it to be a solid deck. So the Trickstar cards went down, and they're very cheap right now. And the Shaddol cards, you can buy 3 structure decks, and you'll have everything that you need. So basically, the deck is very, very good in time with the ability to burn. And also, you can set up big boards and summon big powerhouse monsters like El Shaddol Winda and El Shaddol Construct. Winda would be a very good control card, along with all the traps that you would be running, because you would be running like Crackdown and Strike and cards like that. So the deck itself is a very solid contender. Um, it's very budget, I'd say. It would be three structure decks and then like the Trickstar engine. So it would be around $50 to $70. So it's definitely a very, very solid option. And so next up for my number 2 slot, we have Pure Endymion. So this deck has been recently buffed up with Celine and a lot of other cards, as you have a lot of draw power in the deck in the form of Spellbook Engine, which would be the 3 secrets, 3 Magician of Prophecy, and 1 knowledge. And then you have 3 allure, 3 desires, upstart, and like you have Mighty Master, which stops a lot of decks, and then reflection and magister, and you have the 1 servant, and the whole deck just comes together very, very well. And you can make it with 3 structure decks because of the spellbook stuff comes in the structure decks, but the knowledge doesn't, but the spellbook stuff does. Desires also does, and so does allure. And the thing about the deck is that if you were to play it, then you would be seeing a lot of wins because you have so many cards that just stop your opponent. And it's a very good deck, and it can go first very, very well, and it can break board second. And the only card that you would really spend a bit on would be Celine, which would be like a $10 to $15 card currently, time of recording. And you can also run cards like Vortex and Absolute, which allow you to summon it. And you can spit out a lot of negates. And it's also a very good deck to teach yourself combo. And when you get comfortable with it, you can just build on the deck as your budget expands a bit more and buy like cards like Magician's Souls. Even just one would be amazing. But that card's a bit out of budget for this video. But the deck is definitely very, very powerful, and I highly, highly recommend picking this up for your number 2 budget option. And for our number 1 budget, we have Salamangreat. So Salamangreat is 100% a tier 1 deck of this format, and it has so many cards and insane consistency. And we've seen through formats that no matter how many times they get hit, they just keep on being good in the fact that they may have hit Gazelle to 1 and Circle to 1 and banned Mirage Stalio, but it doesn't matter for the deck. It's still a very, very strong deck. And if you buy 3 structure decks, you already have 3 very competitive hand traps that come in it, which would be 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, which is probably the best hand trap to ever touch the face of the earth. It's very, very good, and the structure deck itself comes with a lot of amazing reprints. And then you would be buying 3 Signet Mining separately, but they recently got a reprint, so that is very good, and it's definitely the one of the best decks this format by far. And then you have 3 Sunlight Wolf, which it's recursion, and then 3 Bailings to search the field spell, and then Heat Leo, and so on. And you can also run like DD Crow, which is dirt cheap and beats Orcus and decks like that. And I highly, highly recommend picking this up as the best budget deck for this format. And that is all for the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, all right, guys. Peace.